Well, hi everybody. Oh, gee, I want to thank you all so much for the people writing me and emailing me and texting me that had my text to make sure I was okay because you hadn't heard from me. I was actually playing hooky. It was time just to take a little break and step back from all this stuff going on, and so that's what I was doing, just taking a little break. And for those of you that ask, I want to thank you for inquiring. It was so nice to know that I was missed, and I want to thank you for that. And if you're new, my name is Lynn, and I do political tarot cards. And if you like my channel, please hit like and subscribe because that helps with YouTube, and I really appreciate it. And you know, it's been a sad week, and it's going to keep being sad weeks till we get some grown-ups in the Senate and in the House. I wish there was some way to boot that Joe Manchin out of there. What an asshole. But anyway, probably somebody's offering him a lot of money to change sides about now. That's funny, I just got this thought. And one thing about taking a break is I've really been empathic. I mean, not that I'm not anyway, more than I'd like to be most of the time, but I went to Walmart yesterday. Not Walmart. I had to go to the doctor. When I got out of there, I went to Target. And I don't panic, and I don't get nervous in public. I'm normally the most calmest person in the world, no matter where I'm at. And even when situations come up, I'm calmer than most people. But I was standing in the store, and it was about the same time all that stuff was going on in Colorado. And all of a sudden, I felt totally vulnerable, like I was in danger, and panicky, to the point of being panicked. And like I say, that's not me. So I wondered, you know, I even had to talk myself down. I thought, what are you panicking about? There's nothing to be afraid of in here. And I was thinking of being shot. I mean, I was thinking of maybe because of the stuff with the women, I don't know, and you know, but anyway, I talked myself out of it and told myself how silly it was. And then I come home and turn the news on, and that's what was going on at the same time. And then I woke up 2 days ago, and I don't pay enough attention to the news unless it's political news, because I wasn't even aware what had been going on too much with the volcanoes, because I don't really think of myself. I used to always know when there was an earthquake because I'd get dizzy no matter. When I'd have these dizzy spells, I knew they were going on somewhere in the world. But now that I'm older, I get dizzy spells sometimes just putting water down the sink and seeing it swirl. So I don't use that as an intuition usually that there's an earthquake going on or something. But this dream was so weird. I think I'm almost positive it was Italy, and I was going to see my son. And this could have been something to do with a past life, because when my son was about 9 years old, he read his first National Geographic about Pompeii, and he never got over it. He just he talked about it for a couple of months, and it really bothered him. And so I've always wondered if that was one of his past lives. But anyway, it was so weird because I don't even have a car that's got a computer screen. My car's 20 years old. Beautiful shape. It's a RAV4. Just like new almost. I only got 60,000 miles on it. But this car I was driving had one of those computer screens. and I knew I was in Italy, or I felt like I was in Italy, and I was heading that way to go see my son. You know how weird dreams are. And because it was a computer image instead of like a picture, there was this huge mountain that I knew was, I think even above it on the computer it said Vesuvius or something like that. There was this huge mountain, and I was headed that way. And you know how weird dreams are anyway. And I thought, well, in my head I was going. It was something to do with my son. And all of a sudden, the whole left side of the top of that mountain blew off. And it was a volcano. You could see the smoke, whatever. But I was like about 80 miles away from there. I mean, it was like a computer image, but I was on a highway heading that way. And my first impulse in the dream even was to speed up, something to do with my son. You know how. So it could have been an anxiety dream, but I don't usually dream about things like that. But anyway, and then it dawned on me, well, if he's close to that mountain, there's nothing you can do to help him. And about that time I woke up. But this could be anxiety because I worry about my son. It could be a lot of things. But I got up out of bed, and I thought, that is the weirdest dream I ever had. I don't even see that good at a distance, but in the car it was all on like a computer screen. So it was, anyway, it was strange. It was a strange dream. And before I start my readings tonight, I thought I'd give you a little tidbit from my past. And that's how to tell if your husband's effing around on you. My second husband, we were married for 15 years, and right before we got divorced, because he had another woman, but I mean, that wasn't the only reason. I'm not blaming it on him. It was time for us to get divorced. We were headed in different directions. But he was the love of my life. But so this was my deal of how to tell when your husband's messing around on you. And that's when they start practicing sleeping in their false teeth, and they ask you if you cut the hair on your snatch. That's so funny to me now. It wasn't too funny at the time, but I think that to me that was just so hilarious. So that's a dead giveaway. That's time maybe to start asking questions or to start making future plans if anything like that happens. But I've thought of that so many times, and now I just laugh like crazy when I think about it. But at the time it wasn't that funny. But anyway, I thought I'd put that out there. And tonight, here we go again, the laugh. I was going to try not to laugh. But let me put my glasses on and see what I'm going to read on first. Well, I had Alan Weaselburg down here, and what's going on with him. So I think I will do that first. I think I'll do that first. So this is on just Alan Weaselburg and what's going on. Don't think I could have did a layout on him. I probably did several months ago when they first started doing all that talking about him. It seemed to just get quieted down and shoved in the background. But what's going on in his life? What is I'm not going to ask any specific questions. We're just going to take a little look inside what's going on with him. No matter how I keep seeing the tower. I think it's on the bottom, so I've got to get it off the bottom. Well, it's not on there anymore. So he's worried about going to jail. That's falling out before I even get started. So let's see what's going on here. Alan Weaselburg. What's going on with you, you little stinker? You little, looks like a little weasel, doesn't he? I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't talk about how people look, especially at my age, but he does remind me of a little weasel. So, Alan Weaselburg, what's going on with you? What's going to happen to you? What's going on in your life with your kids and you and family? I know he's got 2 kids that work for somewhere in the government or something to do. Used to be the Trump something to. Oh, one of them works running the ice rink in New York. One of his sons. And I don't remember what the other one did, but it was something related to Trump. I'm pretty sure. So let's see what's going to happen to Alan Weaselburg. Alan Weaselburg. What are you up to? One more shuffle since I blew that one. Alan Weaselburg. What's going on with you? Let's cut these cards. Well, there's a bunch of news about coming out about what's going on with you. That's from the bottom of the deck. We got the Knight of Pentacles. This is the knight that's not going anywhere. So, is he not going anywhere? Is this case not going anywhere? It shows that there's money involved. It's got a lot of Republican energy behind him. They don't want him telling what he knows. I hope he's not in danger. He worked many, many years doing exactly what he was trained to do. Doing exactly what he wanted to do and what he was trained to do. Many, many years. And I'm going to try to get some light over here where I can see this maybe better, where you can see the cards better. I always do this, so I start out thinking it's too dark and then I end up getting it too light. So let's see what's going on. I don't know, that's brighter or bright enough or whatever, but I don't know. Anyway, we got the apprentice here. So he's worked hard for all of his life at this job. He'd like to get through it without blowing it. He'd like to keep back in the what he thinks of as the Republicans. He thought it had come to a standstill. He's still taking higher ground. Everybody says he's already talking. But maybe telling stories on somebody like Trump would be taking the higher ground. So we could look at that card 2 ways. Oh, he's going to be the star witness. Look at this. He is going to be the star witness. That's in the sky over the reading. It's the star. What this reading's about is somebody that's worked hard at the same job for years and years. If they look at where the money went, he's going to be in trouble. And here's the Page of Pentacles following the money. Hate to keep saying this, but the money's going to lead to Russia. A lot of money's going to lead to Russia. To do with the Trump organization. It's going to go to other places overseas too, but mostly Russia. Let me see if we can get some light around these cards. I always do that and mess around and get it so light that they don't register. So that's where the money's leading. And this is a thorough, smart man that's investigating this. This is the King of Wands. I wonder if that will be, oh gee, I can't even think of his name now. The one that was going to be Supreme Court Justice and didn't make it. I didn't even want him to be a Supreme Court Justice because he was too far to the Republican side. Maybe he'll do really good now that he knows that our whole democracy is depending on him. Might change his attitude a little bit. But like I said, I wasn't that crazy about him to start with. But so far he said the right things and it all sounds good to me. And then got the Death card here in the 9th house, and I don't know if Alan Weaselburg wishes he was dead, or he knows that this is the end of his life as he knows it, or what, but it's definitely an ending. It's an ending. And I asked if he might be in danger when I seen that Republican card. It also could be danger, because that's what's around him. He's afraid of danger. He's actually afraid for his life. I know this sounds silly, but that's right next to this Republican card that was blocking this. There's so much money involved in this, so when they start following the money, it's not going to make much difference what he says or what he doesn't say, because the connection's going to be there. I'm going to draw one more card to clarify this. When this comes to court, it's going to be a world-changing event. It's going to be the end of something and the beginning of something new. And the way things are set up now, I don't think anything's going to be the end that quick of the Republican Party, but maybe it'd be the Trump dynasty. Something's definitely coming to an end. So, let's go back over this real quick. Right now, we feel like things are stalled. The Republicans have tried everything they could to hold this up. It's not working. They're going to follow his career. He's going to try to go to higher ground, but the only way he can save his kids or him is to be the star witness. He's going to help him a little bit with the money. It's going to lead to Russia. And this is the Attorney General. I can't think of his name. It starts with a G. Coming in there and doing his job like he should. It's going to be the end to Weaselburg's career, if not his life. And it's going to be a total, because of all the money involved, and it's going to be a total change. And I think that change is for the Trump dynasty, because that's what Weaselburg is. He's part of the dynasty. What is Eric Garland? Merrick Garland. That's his name. I was trying to think of the name of that. Who it is? It's Merrick Garland. So I hope you're all doing good out there. I want you to know how much I appreciate the community around these card readings. The people are so nice that read the cards. The people are so nice that listen to the readers. I love listening to your comments. I love reading your comments, and I just want to thank you for making my life better at this time in my life. And the next thing I was going to read on, let me shuffle this energy off these even before I look at the next thing. I got another new deck of cards. It's the one that has the writing on them. I'm not sure I like them or not. They work pretty good for clarifiers sometime, I guess. I don't know. I've only used them a couple of times in personal readings. And if anybody wants a personal readings, it's lintarotreadings@gmail.com. lintarotreadings, readings with an S, @gmail.com. If anybody wants a personal reading. So, I've got some openings. I've been really super busy, and I just got through them the last couple of days, and I really need some more people to read on because that's what keeps me going. It does, it does. So, I'm still trying to get this deal on here right where it's on the cards. So the second thing I was going to read on was well, I'm going to read on the last two things first and then do the filibuster. I'm going to write, will D.C. become a state? Will the District of Columbia become a state? Will the District of Columbia become a state? That's kind of yes or no. So I'm only going to draw 4 cards for that. They were excluded from everything else before. Every time they even thought about making a state, they just stirred things and people away from it. Got the 6 of Swords here. In the present, there's judgment coming down because of the insurrection at the there and not being able to call the police, and also about them not having any representation, and also them not wanting them to become a state because it's black. So there's a lot of, it looks like judgments coming down good. At least everybody knows what's going on now. It's weird. We got the Lovers for a challenge. And maybe the Lovers are the lovers of graft and control. And I've never thought of the Republicans as being lovers, but maybe they just don't love justice. It's right next to it because this is a challenge. People that don't love justice and that try to work together to get around justice. And the answer is it's still up in the air. Well, we know it's up in the air right now. Maybe it's too quick to even think about this because there's a couple other things. The last thing I was going to read on was if they get rid of the filibuster. Because they'll have to get rid of that to do this. We know that. But anyway, it's not coming through. It's not. Can't answer it at this time. And we got the 2 of Swords. It's still in the can. It hasn't come out. There's not enough movement that direction for the energy to even be coming through on the cards. And we know the energy changes all the time on the cards. So so that was kind of a waste, but let's see. So they were talking about Puerto Rico today because I guess it's funny because I didn't think the Republicans wanted to make Puerto Rico a state. Maybe there's a lot of things to rape and pillage over there. There might be. But it's a pretty lush country, actually. They probably got a lot of natural resources because the Republicans have been wanting to make Puerto Rico a state, according to some of the programs I've been watching. So, will Puerto Rico become a state? So I'm just going to do 4 across for that, too. Well, there's been a lot of bickering about this in the past. A lot of people would like to see it become a state. I think probably a majority of the people. We got the Three of Cups here. The Republicans would fight this like crazy, even though they've always said this is what they want to do. They don't want to. They don't want to trade off. They don't want to trade off making D.C. a state for making Puerto Rico a state. So if that was an idea that they thought they might try to tempt him with, that's not going to work. We got the Tower. And we got the Three of Swords, so it doesn't look like it. At least D.C. is not as strong in there, but it would be harder by these cards. By reading these cards, it would be harder for Puerto Rico to become a state. Than for D.C. D.C. is still undecided, but this looks like it's like a no. We got the Three of Hearts for the last, and we got the Tower there on the challenge. Big fight up against about that for some reason. Probably because they're still pushing the race card on everything, the Republicans are. Will the filibuster be changed? Are they going to get rid of the filibuster? Or let's just ask what's going on with the filibuster. What's going on? What's going to go on? I'm going to do a longer reading on it. I'm more interested now. What's going on with the filibuster? What's going on with the filibuster? What's going on with the filibuster? There are some foreign countries that don't want to get rid of. You don't want us to get rid of the filibuster. That's weird to see this up here. And with the Democrats supposedly in control, they shouldn't have that much say-so, especially Putin, Russia, or anybody like that. We got the Magician over the top of this. So I'm going to say that it looks like it could actually happen because we got the Magician here. So we never really know. So let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening. Let me turn this. I'm going to try to turn this light up higher once I got it out of my eyes. It was in one side of my eyes. So, even a little bit more. I usually have it really pretty dull in here. But, so we got the Overseas card. And this is about the filibuster. Then we got the Magician. So, all hands on deck. This is something that could actually happen. In fact, if our democracy is going to get saved, it's got to happen. We got the Magician. Maybe they'll pull a rabbit out of the hat. I'd love to see this card here. This is the foundation, because I kept saying if they decide to do this, they need to do it right away. They don't need to wait till the next election and then leave the Republicans, if they win it, in control of everything. They need to get it right now so they can get rid of this election fraud that they're trying to create. All this voter suppression. They've got to get rid of it. And it shows it coming in really fast. So this might really surprise all of us. I know it surprised the hell out of me. New beginnings. The past influence over what's going on now. It needs to be changed. Look at this. Look at this. Some strong energy coming in. We got the Ace of Swords coming in to change it. That's like a yes card. And that's above the reading. There's going to be some money waged against it, a lot of money put out on advertising against doing it. A lot of media bitching and pissing and moaning about it. That's what that is. There's definitely a lot of talks going on already behind the scenes about how to do this and what's the best approach. And then we got judgment. So we know what the judgment is around that it's got to be done. If we're going to have any kind of democracy, it's got to be changed. So that's a good card coming through. And we still got a few hanger-oners. It's going to have to be changed. Their attitudes and stuff. This is some of the Democrats that are going to have to vote for this. So they're going to have to bribe them and give them everything they want for their states, and probably dance on somebody's grave to get them to come in there. The more I hear Joe Manchin's name, the more he's the biggest necromancer to me in Washington at this time. Him and Sinema. Then the outcome is the King of Pentacles. I like that in these cards. This is the same thing to me as the Chariot. So something's coming forward fastly about that. I'm going to draw one more. And we got the Ace of Cups. It looks very much like this could be happening. This very much could be happening, getting rid of the filibuster. I'll believe it when I see it. But as far as these cards are saying, they're saying it could happen. But it's not as undecided as you think it is. The Democrats might really pull a rabbit out of the hat. Maybe negotiate with the two holdups. Bring it forward fastly. That would be new beginnings. It would go through. We got a yes. There would be a lot of money put up to try to stop it. They're already talking about what to do about it to bring this justice forward. Still got a couple of laggers back. But somebody's going to come in with some pressure on them. Something about some money that was taken or misused or something like that. And it could definitely go through. So these cards turned out beautiful compared to what I thought they would. And now I got one on the floor. So let me just grab another deck here. For the next one, really, really quick. Somebody wanted me to read on Jared and Ivanca, see what's going on between them and with them, and if what's going on in their life right now, what's taking up their time and their energy and everything else with these lawsuits getting ready to come down on them. Because I got a feeling some things are going to break right open. In fact, I kept watching TV today. I mean, I knew they had all that other stuff going on, but I thought I was just waiting for something to drop today. I just felt like something was going to drop. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But let's see what's going on with Jared and Ivanca. That might tell us a little bit about what might be dropping and what. Can't seem to get that Five of Cups off the bottom of the deck. That's not good. That's a lot of depression and worry. So this is for Jared and Ivanca. Oh, gee. This is so much fun. I don't know why it takes me so long to get back at it. I've had a lot of things come up when I was getting ready to do readings too in this last week. I would get ready. I had a lot of, I did get to give my massage to my grandson. It was the most wonderful feeling in the world. I gave him a 90-minute massage, and And I was really proud of myself because I didn't even get tired or anything. I thought I've been lifting a few weights, light weights and stuff, trying to keep a little bit of strength in my upper body, but I didn't even get sore or anything, so that made me feel good. So, Jared and Ivanca. Russia. All roads lead to money or Russia. It's so strange. And quickly. You got the King of Pentacles on top of this. And another quick card, the Knight of Swords. So something's coming out. Something's coming out right away. Money being juggled. Well, we've all known money. Judgment. So it's to do with the law. There might be some subpoenas or some requests for interviews. There's something coming up. I thought these would be more personal, but these are more like the law. They're getting their stories together, trying to see if they can match as much as possible and not throw each other under the bus. That's the pact they're making right now. They're terrified about the truth coming out. They're absolutely terrified about the truth coming out. We've got the High Priestess here. There's secrets coming out. And it's going worldwide. This isn't secrets that's being kept back for any trial or anything. It's everybody's maybe not going to hear all the details, but we're all going to hear about this. The whole world's going to hear about it. It's going worldwide, this investigation. And everybody's going to really be anxious to see how it turns out, but then we're going to have to wait and see. People are going to be happy. Well, I get the strangest feeling. I drew one card and I put it back, and then I thought, just stop where you're at, and then I drew a couple more. So I think Ivanca, who thinks she's the Queen of Pentacles, she always thought she was married to her dad, she's trying to talk to Jared about being really strong and sticking together. She's trying to convince him that's the right thing to do. But it's not going to make any difference, because either way, justice is coming after him. Justice is definitely coming after him. That's it for tonight. And I really enjoyed that, so I'm going to do it again. I might do it in about 30 minutes if I watch some more news and think of something to read on. But right now I'm just going to see if I can upload this. And I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to tell you how happy I am that you watch, and let you know that you are definitely appreciated, and I hope you're all doing great. Namaste.